All right, so are you ready to dive into this transcript of Vince Vaughn on Hot Ones with me?
Oh, yeah, bring on the heat. I'm ready for some hot takes A&D hot wings.
Well, we know Vaughn is hilarious, but let's see what we can find out from this interview.
You know, it's interesting because Hot Ones isn't just an interview.
Yeah.
It's almost like a social experiment, you know? You get to see these stars outside of their public persona,
Right.
sweating and just being real.
Yeah, exactly. And Vaughn doesn't hold back. He jumps right into some stories about being a tour guide in Chicago,
Oh, wow.
like back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a fun story.
Yeah.
I think it shows something about his comedic style.
Yeah, I think so too, because think about it. As a tour guide, you have to think on your feet, right? Read the audience and be engaging.
Yeah.
And those are really important skills for a comedian, especially someone like Vaughn, who is known for improvising.
He even mentions working on a boat called the Skyline Queen.
Oh, wow. What a perfect name.
Talk about foreshadowing.
Right. And that goes back to what he was talking about later about how real life experiences make him more creative.
Yeah.
Because he actually had his character in The Breakup be a Chicago tour guide.
Oh, right.
Because he loves the city and its history so much.
Oh, that's so cool. Speaking of real life experiences, remember that scene in Swingers?
Oh,
When they're
right.
driving back from Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they filmed that on the side of a real highway
Oh,
without permits.
that's so crazy.
So Vaughn brings that same energy to all his roles.
Yeah, and it connects with his critique of Hollywood.
Right.
He thinks that they are too focused on what he calls pre-existing intellectual property.
Like all the sequels and remakes and stuff.
Exactly. All those franchises
Mm-hmm.
that they've just forgotten about, fresh new ideas.
It's like they're scared to take a risk
Yeah.
and just want to keep using the same formulas.
Yeah, he says that's really bad for comedy.
Interesting.
He makes this comparison to geometry. He says that if you get one basic principle wrong, the whole thing falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
And to him, that one wrong principle
Yeah.
is choosing predictability instead of originality.
So instead of trying to make people laugh,
Yeah.
they're just chasing trends.
Right. And recognizable names.
It makes sense why he thinks so many comedies aren't actually funny.
Yeah. And that's a pretty bold statement for someone like him to make.
Yeah, considering he's a huge part of Hollywood.
Right.
But you know what's really cool? He also shared some really insightful thoughts about success.
Oh, yeah.
He compares reaching your goals to a dandelion,
Oh, wow.
pushing through concrete.
What a powerful image.
No, right?
Yeah.
It really shows how resilient and determined you have to be.
Yeah, but I wonder if that's a little too simple.
What do you mean?
I mean, hard work and sticking with it are definitely important.
Mm-hmm.
But what about other stuff like privilege and opportunity?
Right.
And even just luck?
Right?
Don't those play a part too?
Yeah, I think he's saying you have to try hard. But maybe he isn't considering the systemic barriers.
Yeah, that make it harder for some people.
Push through the concrete.
Exactly. I would be interested to hear more about what he thinks about that.
Oh, and of course, we have to talk about the hot sauce.
Yeah.
It's incredible how he handles it.
Mm-hmm.
He describes each one with so much detail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not just hot or not hot.
Yeah.
He talks about the flavors and the textures like he's describing a fine wine.
Wow. That's really interesting.
He even jokes that growing up in the Chicago suburbs, he was always eating spicy food.
Oh, really?
So maybe that's why he can handle it.
Well, that makes you wonder,
Smart.
well, is it nature or nurture?
Right. Did growing up in the Midwest give him a higher tolerance?
Yeah. Or is it all about your mindset?
While he was sweating it out, he played this game
Oh, yeah.
called Name That Tagline,
Mm-hmm.
where he had to remember lines from his movies.
Oh, that's fun.
And guess what?
What?
His favorite quote from fans isn't what you'd expect. Like, you're so money, which, come on, we've all probably said at some point.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
His favorite is bring it in for the real thing from Swingers,
Oh, wow.
which is a lot more genuine than his funny catchphrases.
That's a really good point. It kind of shows that even though he's funny and tough,
Mm-hmm.
he also values real connections.
Exactly. And that leads us to one of the most interesting parts of the whole interview.
Really? What's that?
How he describes what it felt like to eat all those hot sauces.
Oh, right.
He said he felt euphoric,
Wow.
like he was on another level.
It really makes you
Extra
wonder
whipped.
what resilience really is. Is it pushing yourself to the limit, like with hot sauce?
Yeah.
Or is it all about your mindset and mental strength?
Wait.
What do you think? He even said it was similar to what athletes feel after they train really hard.
Like a runner's high.
Exactly. That feeling you get after pushing yourself.
That's so interesting because it makes you think about the connection
Yeah.
between your body and your mind.
Right. Like when you challenge your body, maybe it makes you mentally tougher too.
It's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Right.
But with hot sauce.
Exactly. You don't have to like look for painful things.
Right.
But maybe those hard times can help us grow.
And Vaughn just goes for it with the hot wings.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't shy away from the challenge. He even seems to enjoy it.
I think that's how he is in his career too.
You think so?
Yeah. He takes risks and picks unique roles. And he brings his own style to everything he does.
And he never once drank any milk or water.
Oh, really?
He wanted the full experience.
Wow.
So maybe that's part of what makes him so resilient.
What do you mean?
He doesn't run away from the hard stuff. He just faces it head on.
That's a really good point. It's like he's being mindful. He's not fighting the feeling. He's just letting it happen.
He's in control.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough with the deep thoughts. Did he finish all 10 wings?
Well, he said he was feeling euphoric. So maybe he did.
He did. He's a champion. He ate every single wing.
Wow. Even the Widowmaker.
He ate every single hot sauce.
Yeah.
And he even went back for more of the Widowmaker.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
That's resilience right there.
Yeah. He's not giving up.
He's embracing the challenge.
Even when it's hard.
And you know what else?
What?
He was smiling and making jokes the whole time.
It sounds like he was having fun.
It shows that being resilient isn't about being tough and serious.
Right.
It's about finding the humor in it all.
It's about choosing how you react.
Exactly. So maybe that's what we can learn from this.
From watching Vince Vaughn eat hot wings?
Yeah. He's not just a funny guy. He's also really resilient.
And he shows us that sometimes you need a little spice in your life.
To make you stronger.
Right. So what did you think about this deep dive?
Vince Vaughn was even better than I expected.
Yeah, he really was.
He's not just funny. He showed us how to be tough, too.
It really makes you think about what resilience means.
Yeah. Is it about just pushing through? Or is it about learning to love the challenge?
And maybe he even inspired us.
To do what?
To be a little braver.
In facing our own challenges.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm going to go eat some wings.
Okay, well, maybe not the Widowmaker.
Yeah, maybe I'll skip that one.
Okay, so before we finish up, I want you to think about something. Remember how Vaughn talked about goals being like a dandelion pushing through concrete? We talked about how important it is to work hard and never give up. But it also makes you wonder.
What's the concrete in our lives?
Yeah. What are you struggling with right now? What seems impossible to overcome? And how can you be more like that dandelion, like Vince Vaughn? How can you be resilient and break through?
It's a really powerful image to think about. It's like he's saying that even when we feel stuck, we can still grow and keep trying, even if it's hard.
And maybe that's what we should take away from this whole conversation with Vince Vaughn. He's not just teaching us about hot wings, he's teaching us about life. Right. Embrace the unexpected. Find the humor in the tough times. And remember that a little spice can make you stronger.
Exactly. So next time you're facing a challenge, think about Vince Vaughn and those hot wings. He did it with a smile, and maybe you can too.
Yeah, it makes you realize that we can do more than we think we can.
For sure. And maybe we all need a little bit of spice to help us reach our full potential.
Well, this has been a really fun deep dive.
It has. Vince Vaughn was amazing.
I know, right? He was so funny and so real, and he taught us a lot about resilience.
It makes you want to go out and face your fears, right?
It does. Thanks for joining me today for this spicy deep dive.
It was my pleasure. Until next time, everyone, stay spicy.